The Tricky Triangle plays host to the penultimate round of the Integrity Ignite Series season. This is the Evolution Disc Golf 188 and 2. Qualifying laps will be underway for your final drivers in the championship hunt. Before we get things going, we have an announcement from the Integrity Racing League admin team regarding our drivers in this final showdown. Now, it was originally meant to be 8 drivers from the 16 we had beginning this. However, due to a tie between the final 2 drivers for the 8th place cutoff, both drivers will make it in. There was no precedent made or set that would indicate a tiebreaker for any driver in this situation, which means 9 drivers will now compete for the championship, and they go as follows in terms of their seed. The 9th seed is Matthew Thunhorst. The 8th seed is Don Stevenson. The 7th seed is DJ Stagner. Seed number 6 is Jacob Fife, and seed 5 is Joe Dinsmore. Alec Daffin is your 4th seed. Gael Brooks is seed number 3. Thomas Bresci, as he was in the regular season, is seed number 2, and the man on your screen, Rob Ackley, indicated by your yellow and black driver information box, is in the Clash, and he is seed number 1. He was the first winner of the Clash this season, and he's already shown himself as one of the top drivers in this clutch last second predicament. He's been up there race after race. Right now he's 6th in qualifying, and his pace is only about 1/10 of a second off your top man in Cody Smith in the number 18. So as it stands, we got 9 drivers competing for a championship, and the top 2 are currently not in this race. It's Cody Smith in the number 18 machine, and his Bud Light as always, and Blake Gordon returning for the first time since Okayama, I believe, and he is back in action in the number 48 machine for Endeavor Racing. Long time no see, and he's back with a bang. Top spot on the grid, he's not going to take it, but he is in 2nd at the moment. Oh, so close, and now Gael Brooks gets a monster qualifying run. He's 16 1,000th off of your top spot in qualifying. My oh my, Michael Stroll falls back into 5th. It's Cody Griffin in 6th, and Don Stevenson takes it by 7 1,000ths of a second. This is when qualifying becomes intense. Every lap needs to matter. Joe Dinsmore puts it in, I believe, the 10th position there. That's going to be his run. Thomas Bresci on his way. The 24 machine is shaking, and while he does have it in control, that's going to be a lot of lost time. Not sure what the game plan is for him from here on out. It's Alan Dart Images, Kerry Hopkins, and Krista Weiss in the chat as we get this one going. Thank y'all for stopping by as we are just getting started, and we're in for a great race of action. Well, as always, in this league, we've seen some great performances, and right now, the 24 machine going to cut off corner number 4 to try to finish off yet another multi-time winner of the season. Thomas Bresci has been, and he's going to take it from 14th to nothing that time by. That lap will not count. Michael Stroll up to 3rd in number 38 AC Delco machine, and with 5 minutes remaining, we still have a chance to see some drivers break through to a higher spot in the order. Stroll's going to be done, but Rob Ackley looks for more that time by. What's he going to get? Nothing. He's still got one more lap in the tank. Matthew Thunhorst, by 89,000ths of a second, now goes to the top spot on the board. And Thunhorst, not a good first round. He came in your regular season champion, but a disastrous turn of events in the most recent 2 races, and he is now on the back foot, your 9th and final seed due to a tiebreaker. And while he did make his way in, now he'll have to drive for his life, and with every driver reset on 3,000 points, he might just have a shot. It's Nick Tarbuck now in the 9th position. We'll have an announcement regarding his finish in tomorrow's event, because it looks like last week's race results in the Octane Series, they got shifted just a bit and in Tarbuck's favor. More on that as the night goes on. Alec Daffin now going to be 9th. Cody Griffin is in 8th, and Nicholas Cohan, he's keeping the momentum up. He's in 7th right now with Blake Gordon in 6th. It's DJ Stagner now on his way. He's going to be the final man, it appears, to take a time down. If we see another come down, it looks like Jacob Fife puts it in 14th, and it's going to be DJ Stagner to the top spot on the board, just like that. From the bottom to the top, Stagner takes it by 31,000ths of a second. It's getting real intense here now. DJ going to be in the top spot by only 31,000ths of a second over Anthony DeBarro. DeBarro has a 54.422, and DJ Stagner has a 40 Well, not a 40, but a 54.391. And it looks like right now, about 40 seconds through his next lap, it's going to be done and done. The 64 goes down and around, but that's good for first regardless. Chris Cabot on the pit road, nothing more from him. And Jonathan Girvan, who's presenting this race and its sponsorship, he's on pit road as well. A message from your sponsor before we get this one going. Evolution Disc Golf. Well, if you want to save 10% on any of your disc golf needs, be sure to go to evolutiondiscs.com and use code EVOJG46. That's EVOJG46. And we'll type that out in the chat as we go on board with the man taking a lap right now. Let's ride alongside and ride with Cody Griffin in the number 3. And Griffin right now making his way down the back to the tunnel turn. He's currently 11th in qualifying out of the total of 24 drivers who have taken the time. It looks like he's knocked down one peg. He's now in 12th and looking good so far for the warehouse design number 3. It's Chris Cabot still outside the timing and scoring range, but Casey Shue now going to be on his way in the blue and white 213 Simware number 4 machine. Now back on the move, Casey Shue is. His Chevy Camaro going to be coming down to the final segment. Turn 3 on the way. No turn 4 here in Pocono. The 2.5-mile circuit, it's tricky for a reason unlike any other track in NASCAR. And it will be, of course, a challenge as ever. And with all the tension and all of the stakes on the line, we're going to see some fierce racing as the night goes on. As it stands, it's still DJ Stagner, the top man, with 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. But we could see an upset in guys like Chuck Sweeting, Chris Cabot, and Casey Shue. Shue makes it down to the line this time by, and Chuck Sweeting back for the first time since the early leg of the tour. Great to have Chuck back in that number 75 machine. It's been a while since we've seen him, and he ran up front beforehand, but it looks like now with only a few races left in your championship battle, he's back in action and looking to be back better than ever. Let's find out what he has in his number 75 Camaro, this time by Casey Shue, coming off the same point on the track, just on a different lap. On his first qualifying lap so far is 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. He'll get a bit more time if he wants to make this one go any quicker. Out of the tunnel turn, this time through, heading into your third and final turn. Chuck Sweeting makes it by. Now Casey Shue going to be able to make it so. And going through 3, gets it a bit loose there. It's a hard corner, not a lot of banking in turn 3. Gets it almost on the grass, and he has the power down nonetheless. Down to the stripe for Casey Shue in the number 4 machine. It will be checkers, not for his qualifying run, but it looks like next time by, it will be second lap on the board. Now it's going to be Casey Shue's first that puts him in 23rd. Chuck Sweeting coming across the stripe that time by him. No validated lap. This is his first lap, and it looks like it'll be the only one he has time for this time through. It's going to be Chris Cabot in the number 54 machine, still on pit road, but Chuck Sweeting and Casey Shue still do battle on the track. DJ Stagner right now looks to have that first spot on the board, perhaps locked up with 35 seconds remaining. This will be exactly what he needs to put himself in the prime position for a championship. Stagner looking to be clutch for the Swamp Motorsports crew, and we've seen him win multiple times on FTN, but only once in this league so far at Bristol. It was enough to make him a Clash contender, and his consistency got him to the round of 8, now 9, and as they come across the stripe, Casey Shue going to be the first man through, and it's going to be the number 4 machine now in position number, it looks like still 24, but it is Chuck Sweeting all the way up to 3rd, and what a return for Chuck Sweeting as DJ Stagner takes the overall top spot here in qualifying. The yellow and black, he's a Clash driver. If they have the red and black, they are not. We've got 5 minutes remaining here in warm-up, and we'll get your starting grid on your screen momentarily. Thomas Bressi going to be the first man out on the track. Michael Stroh right there with him, and this is the final few minute mark for every driver to get their final adjustments in before we get going. The 24 going to lead Michael Stroll out here, and it's a class driver and a non-class driver in tandem right now, working together to get some laps in. Pocono, a fast track, 54 seconds the average time on a solo run. Flying these guys are, and it looks like we're going to see more of that in the pack. It's a big draft city circuit, but we saw at Michigan, one of those bigger tracks, the draft can be broken away from. Michael Stroll did that, and he did it textbook definition of a runaway win. Well, tonight, the win is going to be on the line later, but you know what was on the line first? It was your starting grid. So without further ado, this is your starting grid for tonight's event. This is the EvolutionDiscGolf.com 188, and it is Pocono, and it's almost a checkerboard pattern between your Clash guys and your Clash nuts. And it's going to be DJ Stagner, the first man in the Clash on the pole position. It's a 54.391 for the man in that number 64 machine. Next up, going to be Anthony DeBarro, fast, furious, looking for win number 1. The 27 going to be in second with a 54.422. Chuck Sweeney going to be in position number 3 with a 54.478, and Matthew Thornhorst going to be in fourth with a 54.487. Position number 5 going to be Don Stevenson in that number 47 with a 54.504, and Cody Griffin going to be in 6th with a 54.520. 7th going to be inside row number 4, Cody Smith with a 54.554, and right beside him going to be Michael Stroll, your winner at Michigan, the number 8th position. He's going to be in 38, going to be with a 54.586. Joe Dinsmore going to be 9th, and it's going to be Gael Brooks 10th, separated by only about 12 thousandths of a second, 587 and a 599, respectively, in the decimals. Let's go on to the 11th spot. Going to be Alec Daffin, position number 11, and he's going to have a 54.599 alongside the returning Blake Gordon. Thomas Pressey going to be in 13th with a 54.617. Nicholas Cohan right behind him by a thousandth, going to be there in 14th. Inside the top 15 just barely, Jacob Fife, 15th spot, 54.625, as Nick Tarbuck going to be there in the 16th position with a 54.631. Going to be Forrest Smith in the 17th spot, and it's going to be Rob Ackley in the 18th position, and then going to be Braxton Lewis in position number 19. From there on out, you're going to see Brian McFerrin in the mix as well. Keep an eye out for him. He's 20th with a 54.805, and then we see the remainder of the field. Going to be Brandon Bernhardt in the 21st spot. Kyle Cooper is going to be in position number 22. Alan Rowell 23rd. It's going to be Casey Shue in 24th, and Boomer Logan is going to be 25th alongside Jonathan Gearvon with a 55.112 there in the final timed spot. Going to be Carson Bechtel in position number 27. Travis McChristian going to be in 28. Chris Gabot going to be 29. And round out your field, it is the number 88 machine of Brandon Wenzer. And that will be your starting grid for tonight's event here in Pocono, the Evolution Disc Golf 188. The penultimate round, and the stakes are as high as ever. And right now, Thomas Bressie working with Joe Dinsmore to get a few practice laps in. That number 24 machine right behind him. And as we only have a few minutes remaining, Dinsmore ducks in, but Bressie stays out looking for just a bit more. Now, what Joe Dinsmore might be practicing there is a green flag pit entry. We might need to use that, as we've seen many races go to strategy, be it short tracks like Bristol, long ones like Michigan, and even plate tracks like Daytona and Talladega. You can never tell when we're going to go long here in this league. It sneaks up on you, and it makes it all the more exciting. As it stands, we've got a minute, now less than that, 55 seconds remaining on the charts, as Thomas Bressie is the man who leads the way for a moment. Now Jacob Fife takes it with Michael Stroll in second here in a warm-up. That time by for Fife going to be a 54.647. Michael Stroll going to be just behind him by about a tenth and a half. 54.795 for the man in position number 2. Thornhorst going to be third, and Cody Smith will be fourth, with Thomas Bressie there in fifth. And making his way in, it's going to be one driver in the back of the frame. Jacob Fife gets it on his way. Now Fife, while one of the drivers in this final round, is still chasing his first win on the season. It's been elusive all year long for the man in that number 36, and despite all his pace, he has not been able to make it happen in the race. With 9 seconds remaining, tonight could be his night. You never know. With oh so little time remaining, it would be the perfect time to strike victory lane here in the tricky triangle. Jacob Fife, fastest in second practice. Let's get on our way to the grid, though, as now we see our field of 31 strong for the first time here and now in Pocono Raceway. Race number 14 of 15. Let's get this one going. It's going to be 75 laps, your main event, 188 miles, as you see on the top of your screen. And DJ Stagner, he has taken it to the point for the first time this season. A winner at Bristol, as we mentioned, but this is a very big circuit. 2.5 miles. That's about 5 Bristols in terms of lap length. So that's a big difference. Can the Stagner machine adapt? That's a big question to ask, especially with all the pressure that we have mentioned. You might see some guys making antsy moves, making them at the last second, trying to take their risks and make the risks work. And you see guys like Anthony DeBarro there, as well as someone like Chuck Sweeting. Now, we have not seen much of Sweeting all season long, so he's a bit of an unknown factor, but we know one thing: he's quick. But Anthony DeBarro, we've seen him be a bit of a feisty driver here. He does not take kindly to aggression. He'll give it right back at you. We saw almost a big incident about last race, and it could have been much worse. Last time we went racing, DeBarro got at it with Alan Dobbs. That might have cost Dobbs his championship chase. And now, the 64 knows he's going to have to keep it in front to get this one going. The iRacing official pace car going to get us into procession, as it's going to be Stagner leaving first, and DeBarro, Sweeting, and the rest of the field goes right after him. You can see there, everyone gets out in order, and Long Pond's biggest raceway is now packed in the stands, in the track as well, and the virtual crowd as good as ever. Doug Mindorf in the chat as well. Thank you for stopping by. Great to have you aboard. Krista Weiss, the BDR fan page members coming in, and we love to have them each and every week. It makes the crowd that much better. Love the insight. Of course, there's not a lot we try to miss. Of course, we try to get everything, but there's a lot more from the personal side. These drivers, much more than meets the eye. We love every single one of them coming out each and every week, competing to their heart's desire. And you can see DJ Stagner, he is happy as ever to be up in front. That number 64, he's a proven winner, but we haven't seen him on pole position just yet this season. This could be the moment of truth, though. It could be the breakout start for the 64, and what a way to break out, as he's found himself as a break-in to the Clash. 188 miles, 75 laps. And if one driver has a good enough race, this could be the tell-all for who makes it into the mathematical contention for our 300-mile finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Keep an eye out for FTN. It's going to be 3 300-mile races next week, and we're going to be working with Mocono Entertainment on the 880,000 yards of bricks on Mocono Entertainment's Twitch page. I'll be there announcing alongside the great Jacob Reeves. We'd love to have you there as well. But tonight, it's Stagner and Anthony DeBarro telling the tale. It's going to be the iRacing pace car pulling in this time by. Let's get it going from the Long Pond Raceway. It is the Tricky Triangle, and it's the Evolution Disc Golf 188. The penultimate round is in its way, and it's going to be DJ Stagner leading the way as we head to turn number 1 of 3. Let's get it going from Pennsylvania. And the yellow flag's out just like that. Let's find out what happened. It's a big wreck. My, oh my. And you can see the back of the field. It is all stacked up. So we're going to take an instant replay, find out just what happened. Back of the field, it is caught up big. And DJ Stagner still leads the way. Let's take an instant replay of the matter and find out just what happened. And you can see taking it back, it's Gearvon there in the middle. Boomer Logan alongside him. 3 wide they go, and Brian McFerrin makes contact with Kyle Cooper. And by this point, there's still something going on right in front. They all slow down. It's Joe Dinsmore who goes around, and this is Dismal. The 95 machine caught up in the incident, and we're going to take it back just a bit more. My, oh my, it's a big scene, and we'll take it back even further. Instant replay on FTN, and Dinsmore right there in the mix. Oh, Cody Smith makes contact with Daffin, runs up the track and gets Joe Dinsmore, and then gets Gael Brooks. This is bad news. Multiple Clash drivers involved, and Smith netcode contact with Gael. Nick Tarbuck makes it by. My, oh my. This one's bad. Ackley's backwards. Big hit for Rob Ackley. And that might be the motor. Man, oh man. This is what a way to start it indeed. As we will get back to it. It is DJ Stagner leading. But multiple Crash drivers such as Ackley, such as Dinsmore, such as Alec Daffin, all involved in your first yellow flag of the night. We'll send it back full to the live broadcast, as right now Joe Dinsmore there in 20th. It's DJ Stagner leading the way 2 laps in at a 75, and just like that, many drivers impacted in that first big wreck. It's going to be a very difficult night for many of those guys. Ackley, he has a bit of a buffer going in, but top C doesn't mean all too much on level points. Travis McQuistion retired just like that. We'll take a look back. As you can see now, Boomer Logan in the back of the field. Rob Ackley, he's still going. That motor's done. That's his race. I can't believe it. Rob Ackley, just like that, sees his flash in the pan, as this could be the end of his championship run before it even began. The motor is blown, only 2 races in this round. He'd need to be perfect somehow at Charlotte to make it happen. I think that's it. Rob Ackley in the number 22, motor blown, lap 1, and he's in the pits. Cody Smith, he seems to be done. Dinsmore might be lucky, so might be Alec Daffin, but clearly big bad news for that number 22. Take a close-up shot and you can see that front end's destroyed. Nothing more that can be said and nothing more that can be done. Just like that, our championship drama has become that much more apparent. DJ Stagner leads from Anthony DeBarro, and Chuck Sweeting is still there in third. And just before the leading battle got on its way, it appears we saw a wreck in the back, and it's going to take quite a few Clash guys out just like that. A few have the edge, and a few do not. And this is when we say that track position matters on a track like Pocono. It's a wide circuit, that is for certain, but with all that pavement, you can get caught up anywhere on the track. Some guys just go full throttle in an incident, and that we have seen, and we actually saw it in that incident. Rob Ackley got hit big, nothing more that he could do, and some guys just not able to avoid that one. A lot of pavement, but a lot of cars wrecking. It became a bit of a track block. It comes back to bite every one of these guys in the back. Guys like Ackley, guys like Daffin, and we saw a big hit for Joe Dinsmore as well. But it looks like the rest of the field able to get back on their way nonetheless. McQuistion, a retiree. Rob Ackley going to be 1 lap down this time. Bias Stagner takes it down to the inside line and will be due for our first restart just like that. Not often this season we've seen first lap yellow flags, as we see that beautiful panning shot, and it looks like chaos to begin this one. Cal Filarski in chat, not the way we want to start it for sure, but it can only get better from here. That's the only positive part of that one. A lot of guys taken out, but it should only be more exciting from this point onward. 4 laps in at a 75, and we're going to keep this one going. It's Stagner leading Anthony DeBarro in second, and the second row stays the same with Sweeting and Thonors. DJ Stagner in the place to be. 4 laps in, has not used up the tires, not used up any of his fuel mileage. Right now, he's sitting pretty there in first. The number 64 machine knows exactly what he's got in store. We'll see whether or not he's able to use it, as we see an immediate yellow flag to kick off our night of racing. And as everyone comes down the backstretch, it seems like clean machines. Rob Ackley is retired for the night. That's going to be just about his championship chances. Gael Brooks, you don't see him on the screen, but he is down on pit road. We'll try to get a better angle for you. That number 71 in big trouble as well. He's still there on pit road, multiple laps down, as we send it back to your leader, Stagner, coming out of turn 2 into turn 3. This time by, the race will get back on its way, and time stops for no one. And nobody on pit road going to be stopped for. We'll get it back this time by lap number 5. We head to the green flag, and it's DJ there with DeBarro to get this one going for your first restart of the night. And as they come out of turn number 3, the tricky triangle has found its first few victims of the night. Will it take any more? Let's find out. The iRacing official pace car ducks in for the second time, and the first restart will be underway. It's going to be DJ Stagner leading once again with Anthony DeBarro. We're green once again from Pocono. Let's get it going, and hopefully this time by, we'll get a first lap under green. and the yellow flag is out, and it looks like we won't get a green flag lap again. And that's going to be our final attempt of getting one uninterrupted on the audio side. Second caution out on the circuit. Bernhardt involved. Let's go back and find out just what happened. We'll take it back 30 seconds and get a better look at the situation at hand. Instant replay on FTN. Let's find out just what happened, as it looks like Jonathan Giervon right there in the mix. Bernhardt tapped by Braxton Luis. Kyle Cooper gets tapped thereafter, and Brandon goes way up high, and that's going to be perhaps his race as well. Inside out, a 360, and that brings out your second yellow of the night. 6 laps into yellow flags. Brandon Bernhardt going to be in position number 25 now, as Kyle Cooper went around immediately thereafter. Number 73 caught up in the incident as well, and he'll be able to get back on his way. 6 laps, and chaos has been the name of the game here in the Tricky Triangle indeed. How about that? We'll get it back to your live feed. Kyle Cooper and Braxton Luis, they saw contact with Brandon Bernhardt, and while they do get away worse, no better than the first incident, it still is not good to see. It looks like right now all the tempers are flaring very early as we head back to DJ Stagner out in front. 6 laps through, it's Stagner in first, Navarro in second, and the strategy so far, there hasn't been all too much of it, so not much to talk about on that department. Stagner's not taking it past 3/4 of a lap so far, has not taken it through green flag pace at turn number 3. So he's got a lot of unknown right now. It actually might be shaking up his game and the leader's game compared to if they had, of course, a longer run to start it. No experience up in front with the green flag pace, and a lot of guys right now are just holding on to what they got. Chuck Sweeting, he's holding on very well, but of course 6 laps in and no full green flag lap just yet, so he's not been given an opportunity to race around these guys and see what it's like in a pack. Now, certainly the top 15 guys have been good so far, but it seems like further on from that point, we see a bit of dicey racing. 7 laps in, it is still green flag being postponed, as 7 laps have seen, about 6 of which under the yellow flag condition. DJ Stagner leads the way with DeBarro in second, and right now these guys up in front are just biding their time. A bit of an advantage for them right now because they have not burnt it up using more fuel, because guys like Stagner, they are the leaders of the pack. Pocono, a big track to cut through air, and it goes all the way back from the guys in first to the guys in the back of the pack, like guys like Carson Bechtel, who's now on his way from McConey, set up shop outside of pit road, and now he'll be in 19th, taking it back up to DJ Stagner, though the point is, he has not used as much fuel as he would have in a longer run. If we'd had 7 laps of green flag racing to this point, he'd have probably be about a gallon or about a half gallon down on the guys right behind him. The reason is, he's the one who takes them through with the air being cut, and he takes all of the harder work, the brunt of the load held by the 64 as the leader, and the rest of these guys get a bit higher speeds through the straightaways as a result. Drafting will become a big deal when we get it under green. Certainly, we anticipate that sometime soon. And looking further back right now, it seems like 26 drivers on the lead lap. Guy Brooks 4 laps down, still racing. 2 retirees at the moment. It's Rob Ackley and Travis McQuistion. And it seems like some guys, such as Brandon Wenger, not able to make the green flag for tonight's event. Unfortunate to see that. 30 attempts to be in this race, of course, 30 registrations, but it looks like only 27 left on the track at the moment. A few guys taken out just like that. No fast repairs in this league, as we've mentioned before. So if you do find yourself in trouble, nothing more you can do than keep racing until the motor blows. Stagner down low, DeBarro up high. Now, lap number 8, we might just be able to get this one going, and hopefully now get the move on this event. Kelly Allen, Doug Mindewolf from the chat, thank you for stopping by, just getting this one kicked off. Fan support for your favorite driver. If you have any, be sure to leave a subscription to the channel. We'd love to have your thoughts. Just subscribe for more than 1 minute and you'll have unlimited access to the chat room live on FTN. Now, we're just getting this one kicked off, but since we don't do it often in the later sessions of our broadcast, and we missed it due to our announcement due to the changes in the playoff format and the clash format. I'm your host for tonight's broadcast. I'm David Kreutz. Great to have you along in tonight's show. And right now, it's been pretty chaotic, and we have, of course, a pleasure doing this nonetheless. Great to have you guys in the chat. If you like it, be sure to let us know what we can do. Bringing it race after race, week after week, and it's unbelievable. Only one more race after this one for the Ignite Series Season A. It's been a fast and furious ride through, and it's been a fun one all the way. DJ Stagner looks to be the man to win the 14th race, and he's trying to collect his second checkered flag of the season. Is he going to be able to do so, though? We'll find out as they come through turn number 2 into the final turn, and then we'll get it back on the move at lap number 9. With Stagner, DeBarro, and Chuck Sweeting there as well. Your podium has stayed the same all race long. No big movement in the top 10 so far. We'll see if moves begin to be made as long as we get by the first lap under green. The iRacing official pace car Ford Mustang due to come back down and in this time by for our second restart of the night. Let's get it going for Long Pond one more time. It's going to be the number 64 of DJ Stagner leading the field in, and it looks like everyone's ready, including Gael Brooks back on the track. The green flag flies for the second restart. Let's get it back going. The 64 leads the way, and DeBarro is going to be right there in second. And DJ leads him into turn number 1 as he did time and time before. Chuck Sweeney going to be able to make a great block there on Matthew Thornworth. Keeps himself in the spot, and it's about 3 wide racing on back. The aggression, it is still up. Nicholas Cohen takes it deep on Don Stevenson. It looks like Stevenson will give him enough room to go into the corner. Sweeting has a bird's eye view, and well, the best he can get when it comes to the remainder of the field. It might not be up top, but he's got him right behind him where he wants it. Now DeBarro goes down low on DJ Stagner, and Anthony going to be able to slide his way to the top spot, and it looks like right now DJ will let it happen as they come across turn number 3 for your first green flag lap. It's going to be DeBarro leading, and Cody Griffin to the wall that time by 3 wide, and Jacob Fife like a madman takes it 4 and almost makes it happen, but it looks like Cody actually gets the better of them all unless Blake Griffin has something to say about it, and that he does. Blake Griffin now up into 7th, and that was one hell of a move. That number 48 machine on an endeavor in his own right there, and he was able to take a few spots, and now he takes them all back. Fife going to be able to make it by. So does Casey Shue. Double file at the very most now. 3 wide. It is taboo. It appears now they seem to avoid it, and it looks like that for good reason. Single file, double file at most. Don't try to make it triple, or you're going to end up on a wrecker. Rest of the field now has it going. 10 laps in. We're in the green flag swing of things, and the first 6, 7 guys are now breaking away. Make that 6. Nicholas Cohen, last of which, and they're single file in this first pack. Cody Griffin, the man, in the second, with Jacob Fife following, and it looks like now Carson Beto trying to add on to pack number 2. Side by side at the line. Cody Smith gets into the timing scoring loop, but the 59 might just have it at the moment of entry in turn number 1. That he does. Down low, the 59 goes. That Ford Mustang takes it into the spot, and it looks like he has it. It's all for naught for the 18. He lets it by. Now Braxton Ruiz looks for the spot as the 18 goes way high, and now Boomer Logan on the chase as well. And right now, every driver in tow with one another single file, but it's as intense as it can get. You can see right now a lot of guys laying back, just trying to make sure they have what it takes at the tail end. You don't want to wreck it too early, as right now Jonathan Gearvon goes side by side, and the number 64, a Stagner, goes right down low, trying to take the lead back once again. The 64 makes it so. DeBarro has the run and keeps the lead as they come to lap number 12, making it a dozen this time by the number 27. Leads him to it, and he still has what it takes to hold on out in front. Great work so far for the man in that number 27 as Chuck Sweeting goes to the inside line, and now Chuck finds himself in second. What a way to come back for the man in that number 75. He's back in action, and just like that, he's contending for the lead. It's been great for drivers who have returned from a long hiatus as of recent. Michael Stroll got it done on that number 38 machine at Michigan, and now the 75 of Chuck Sweeting looks to replicate that success, and Kohan, who could have got it done at Dover, well, he's now there in 5th, looking to add on to the success for non-class drivers. Top 2 are drivers not in the championship battle. Down low, Nicholas takes him. double file with DJ Stagner. It's Thomas Brescia right behind him as well. And right now, it's a first pack built with 9 drivers. And Brescia right in the back bumper of that Nicholas Cohan machine. What does he do? Riding aboard with Thomas Brescia here. Does he make it in? He takes the lunge. Will he go in? Yes. Now the number 24 machine side by side with Cohan as they make a double file into turn number 1. Cohan does have that high side though, and it could be an edge on momentum off exit. That it does not go. And now the 24 has Cody Griffin coming right down low with him. That could be a bit of health cutting through the air as they come through the tunnel turn. And this could be the end all be all for this battle. Now Brescia has the optimal line in, and he's going to have the optimal line out if he can clear. It looks like they're door banging almost. And no, Brescia's not able to make it happen. That time through close, no cigar. He's got Cody Griffin right there though. Should be able to battle back in turn number 3. Cohan goes just a bit high here, but he keeps it going. He'll have big momentum off a corner exit, and it looks like he does, but not enough. Now Thomas Brescia charging at the start finish line and won't have it, but he does have that quarter panel and does have that side draft. So as they come down to turn number 1, it looks like Brescia will still be good to challenge once again. And that he is, door banging though this time by it is for certain. Cohan getting rubbed up the track, and Brescia tries to put the power down here. It looks like it'll be just about clear. Yes, he is. Now the 24 has a bit of an advantage in this battle. Side by side for 5th they are is Cohan of the 57 now scored in 6th, and DJ Stagner has that number 48 all over him, but now the 57 does indeed concede. Great move for the number 24, and now Nicholas goes to the switchback maneuver. And he's got him just like that. Jacob Fife in the wall. Big time incident and another caution and another Clash driver involved. Jacob Fife and the 36 just like that finds himself in big trouble. The 36 down and around. And now we see yet another incident involving a Clash machine. The front end, it is torn up. The engine still looks to be operational, but bad news nonetheless. How about that for the driver in that number 36? He's still going as it stands, and we'll take an instant replay on the matter to find out just what happened. By this point, he's already spinning around. We'll take it back just a bit further, make it 15 seconds back, and it looks like side-by-side battling with Cody Griffin on the inside line. Jacob Fife runs up the track just a bit. Still looks to be good. Blake Gordon takes it down low on him, and Gordon just clips him there. And that's the incident. And a vicious hit to the inside there, 15 laps in. And he's in big trouble. Jacob Fife is indeed. Now, he's still rolling as far as we are aware. We'll take it back to the live feed right now to find out. But that's a vicious blow, and the 65 machine, not here, but the 36, my oh my, damaged and all, still going on the lead lap. We'll see what his choice is when it comes down to staying on the track or going to pit road. It's dicey right now for that number 36 indeed, as Anthony DeBarro is your current race leader. And after a longest green flag run so far, DeBarro is your leading man with Chuck Sweeting in second and Matthew Thonors now in third. And we got a pretty big list of drivers involved in incidents that are part of the Clash. Rob Ackley, Kyle Brooks, Jacob Fife, Joe Dinsmore, Braxton Weiss, Alec Daffin, and now DJ Stagner comes in, going to be early going, and more than half of your Clash field involved in a wreck so far. So bad news on that front, but they're still kicking, and that's what we love to see. DJ Stagner comes in this time by. We'll find out what his cause is. It looks like it's going to be 4 tires and some Sunoco fuel as well. So it looks like now about half the field comes in. Just like that, we've got a strategy gamble here at the Tricky Triangle, and it could be the move that tricks some drivers up and lets some others go all the way. Stagner has that preferred pole position stall. Will it be an advantage, though? We'll find out. And right now, DeBarro going to be the man who leads the way. Nicholas Cohan gets it over the number 64. So Cohan, then DJ Stagner. Right behind him, going to be Alec Daffin. Right in front of Brandon Bernhardt. Then it's going to be Kyle Cooper with Cody Smith, Braxton Weiss, and Carson Bakewell. Don Stevenson going to be in tow with Jonathan Gearbon. And Forrest Smith going to be with Alan Rawell and Joe Dinsmore. Now, on his way. Jacob Fife going to be there for a prolonged period. Of course, big damage on that front end. We'll see how much he can fix. It's a dicey situation, though. We'll see whether or not he's going to be able to fix any of it and get it back on the way. As it stands, unsure how that number 36 will continue to compete. Just like that, we've got multiple guys involved in big-time incidents. Anthony DeBarro, your leader, 16 laps in, and now strategy is in the equation. We've got many drivers on the same stint of tire, and it seems like only drivers at the moment have came in for a fuel run. So with that being said, Michael Stroll came in about 9 laps ago on his stint, and so did the driver in that number 94, Chris Cabot there as well. And then you see guys like Kohan, he's the first man, he's in the 13th spot, and the rest of the field on down, they came in. So it looks like about the top 12 drivers are on at least a variant of the original strategy, the rest of which are now fully divergent, with about a quarter of the race out of the way. We see some big changes already, and we see another now. DeBarro goes down low. He's going to have Chuck Sweeting up high, and we'll get back at it with lap number 18 on the way here in Pocono Raceway. And the Clash has already provided some incredibly exciting racing. How about what we've seen? DeBarro, your leading man, Chuck Sweeting in second, and Matthew Thornhurst in third. If you enjoyed the action so far, be sure to leave a like on the channel and subscribe. Your support is always greatly appreciated live on FTN, and we could not do it without you. Just about 50 subscribers away from the big 1,000. When we do get to 1,000, we will officially unveil many new features for all of our viewers, including channel memberships, custom emojis for drivers in leagues, and super chats, so you can join in on the fun and have your voice be heard night after night. Once again, be sure to subscribe to the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel if you enjoyed tonight's action. We're only 17 laps in. You've got a lot of time to click that button. It's fun. You hope it is, of course. It's free, and it's all the racing you'd ever want on iRacing, and the best coverage that we can possibly provide. It's DeBarro, your leading man. It's Chuck Sweeting in second. Matthew Thornhurst is in third, and Cody Griffin's in fourth, with Thomas Bressi in position number 5. Lap 18, it's going to be in the books in about a minute from now, but it will be the next lap up on the green flag agenda, and the 27 will be the man who leads us in. As it stands, Cal Folarski looks to be now in the race, 16 laps down. The number 6 machine makes it in. Great to have him here. So we do have our 30th entrant of the night. How about that? And now he's going to be on the way from a question. And that number 6 making it in very late as Anthony DeBarro rounds turn number 3. And the iRacing official pace car going to make it through. Lap number 17 going to be on its way out. And 18 on its way in. Restart number 3. Let's get it going with Anthony DeBarro being your race leader. And a big start for DeBarro, that time by Matthew Thornhurst. Going to have Chuck Sweeting run up high, and Thomas Bressi chooses to stay there as well. The rest of the field going to be down the inside line. That outside, it was dissipating immediately on that run. And now the 75 finds himself in contention with Matthew Thornhurst. Thornhurst right down low has that edge into the tunnel turn, and he's going to take it and make it so. Chuck going to be in third right now. He has Bressi right down below him, and now the high side being funneled out of order. Though Bressi does give him a bit of slack, he dives down low, and Sweeting not able to cover that. Cody Griffin right down low on Blake Gordon here, and these two got oh so close to contact before. Now they make it 3, and Michael Stroll has an opportunity to make it 2 passes in 1. Not enough momentum to go for 2. Try to go for 1 this time by down to the inside line. He has it for lap number 19. He has an edge going in to the corner on turn number 1. Will he choose to use it? That he does. Great maneuver there for the 38 machine to keep him in the top spot. He's in 6th right now and following Cody Griffin out to perhaps blow the 7th position. Cody Griffin sees Casey Shue now on his back bumper. That number 4 machine lays off just a bit. He's going to try to see what happens with this battle. If they mess up, he could go right through just like that. Take advantage of all of the misfortune in front of you. That's the name of the game for the man on number 24, and the name of the game for the 4 as well. Bressi right now is a prime proponent of that strategy. He's up to just outside the podium in 4th, 19 laps through. Bressi sees himself in, and now Michael Stroll tries to see himself out as he gets right there on Cody Griffin's quarter panel. Nothing more he can do. Alec Daffin door banging there with Nicholas Kohan, as now Forrest Smith goes way down low as they come through the front stretch all over again. And the battles in the middle of the pack getting fierce and even more fierce. The 38 on that back bumper trying to make something happen. He knows the 3 is holding him up, and now he's right there side by side. He has a big run. It could be enough this time by, and I do believe it might be if he just gets a bit of help from Nicholas Cohan. Cohan, though, sticks to his guns and stays down low. Stroll gonna have to keep himself in order, and now DJ Stagner, your pole sitter, falls down into 9th. And right now, as if it was nothing from last round, Matthew Thornhurst, though he is behind Anthony DeBarro for the race lead overall, is the man in the top spot for drivers in the clash. Not too far behind is Thomas Bressi there in 4th. He wants to chase down that number 8 and get this one in his book, because if he does win this one, he will have the biggest opportunity to win the championship with the least amount of effort. That's not to say these guys don't put 110% in every night, but you want to build yourself a bit of a points cushion going into that final race for the title. 300 miles, anything could happen, and if you are not on your toes all night long, you're going to find yourself caught out of order. DJ Stagner still side by side for the position there with Nicholas Cohan and Nick Tarbuck. It looks like Tarbuck keeps him honest, and Cohan waiting in the wings for something to happen. Perhaps an incident, maybe not, as now Stagner gets right by just like that. And Chris Cabot right now having his best run of the season. That's the number 54 machine for Menard, a throwback to Paul Menard in his American Speed Association days. And the number 54, a solid driver in this league, race in and race out. Debuted only a few rounds ago in the playoff cutoff at Iowa, and he's found himself as a consistent top 15 guy no matter what's going on in front or behind him, avoiding wrecks, keeping it clean, and racing well. And that's been the game plan for Cabot all season long in his very brief run with this league, and he might be one of the guys to look out for a dark horse playoff run next season. That number 54 is incredibly consistent and is working his way up the ladder in reputation night after night. And they're all coming down the backstretch with force. Braxton Deweese wants to make it by for that 12th spot. Nothing more can do, though. That front end is a bit shipped up on the number 15, and that is a big disadvantage. We can see a lot of guys now in the clash have that disadvantage. Rob Ackley, he retired because of it, and Cal Filarski, while he's 16 laps down, is still racing. He does not have much a chance, neither does Gale Brooks, and so does the Jacob Fife machine. Joe Dinsmore right now in 25th is now side by side they go, and you can see the number 15 machine has a bit of side force, but will it be enough to lunge into turn number 1? We will see. 23 laps in, and it looks like down and in. Braxton does not go. He'll let the number 54 have it for now, as DeBarro leads by about a second and a tenth over Chuck Sweeting in second, and Matthew Thornhurst is now down to 4th. Thomas Bressi got by for 3rd. And this is as important as the battle for the race win overall. Matthew Thornhurst falls back to Thomas Bressi, and these two have been the top dogs all season long. Don't get it twisted, these two have been up there mixing it up since day one at Daytona. And while these two finished first and second in the regular season championship, guys like Rob Ackley took over in that first round, the round of 16, and it almost looked done for the guys like the 8 machine. Bressi made it through comfortably so, but the 8 looked to be just about down and out of it. Right now, they're back up in prime form, and while DeBarro and Sweeting lead the way, the battle for the overall clash lead is held in the balance of Thomas Bressi and Matthew Thornhurst. Thornhurst right now 1 spot back on Bressi, as right now Thomas holds 3rd and Matthew holds 4th. It's Blake Gordon still in 5th, and DJ Stagner still in 6th. And right now, besides that, the top 10 occupied by 4 Clash machines, the last of which Alec Daffin in the 10th spot, the rest of which all non-Clash drivers. Anthony DeBarro leading the way, Chuck Sweeting there in 2nd, it's Blake Gordon now in 5th, and then Cody Griffin in 7th. It is Nick Tarbuck in 9th, and Alec Daffin's now in 10th. And from there on out, it is Alec in 10th indeed, Nicholas Cohan in 11th, Chris Cabot in 12th, then Braxton Deweese in 13th, Don Stevenson in 14th, and Cody Smith in 15th. The number 18 machine, a racer in both days of this league. And on Tuesday night, you see him in the Next Level Racing number 18 machine. So speaking of Next Level Racing, a third of the way through, and as always, Next Level Racing, a premier partner of the Integrity Racing League. For high quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who deserve nothing but the best, visit nextlevelracing.com. High quality products since 2009, especially as of recent, a new partnership with Ferrari for licensed content and equipment. You'd love to have it? Well, check out their website, nextlevelracing.com, for all your sim racing needs. 25 laps in at a 75. We are just getting started here on FTN. Stick around. This has been the presentation of the Evolution Disc Golf 188. We will return after these brief messages, courtesy of nextlevelracing.com. And as always, a premier partner of the Integrity Racing League, nextlevelracing.com, with high-quality sim racing and performance products since 2009. Visit nextlevelracing.com for more information. Now, you missed it on that replay, which we'll get to you. A big wiggle for a guy like Boomer Logan. Let's take it back about 40 seconds and find out just what happened. Figure with all the action going on, this would be one of the best moments to show, and a big battle between the guys in about the 21st position. Logan gets way high there in the wall, and that could have been a caution. Almost into Kyle Cooper, and Carson Bechtel went way down low, able to save it, and a very good save for him. Shades of Bubba Wallace, I believe, in 2020. He went down the Pocono infield a few years ago. A great one for Carson Bechtel right now, battling fiercely as we take it back to your live feed as they come off the front stretch. It's that number 94 machine of Boomer Logan in 23rd, and that could have been much worse indeed. Right now, a three-car breakaway, and it looks like tides have shifted. DJ Stagner's in third. It is Alec Daffin in fourth, and now Matthew Thonos falls back to fifth with Bresci in 11th. My oh my, what just happened? Well, we're gonna find out, and I think well, I have to think like this. The big cause, it is with a capital T. It is tires. Right now, the guys up in front, DeBarro is on a 28-lap-old stint, but DJ Stagner on a 12-old stint. Chuck Sweeting, 28, and then Alec Daffin with a 12 stint. Then Thunors back there with a 28 at 28. Then Michael Stroll with a 21 stint, as Blake Gordon on a 28 as well. We kind of skipped over him there. Nicholas Cole another 12-lap-old stint, and with all the shuffling, now the new guys coming up through the field, and it's giving a lot of competition to those who have held out on their older set, and those who have stuck to the guns. They're now seeing the side effects, whether they are good or bad. Nonetheless, Anthony DeBarro is still your race leader, but DJ Stagner is crawling up just like that. That number 64 machine slowly but surely inching his way into the conversation, and we didn't think he'd be able to get there, but it looks like now he is right in the prime position to make this happen. Number 64, coming off for the first corner, is now within 1/10 of a second, making it about a quarter if he does not get a great run off corner exit. 29 laps in, Chuck Sweeting all over the back bumper too, and that number 75 might come into play as well. Getting a nice run through the tunnel turn, a big one for DJ Stagner. He's able to break away from the 75, get some distance in, and that will keep him in the fight with the 27. And right now, tire wear, while it does seem to be a bit of a factor, the correlation is not all too strong to performance and new Goodyear rubber. The leader is still in a 29-lap-old set, and this time by, DeBarro ran a 56.45, and DJ Stagner ran a 56.492. So DeBarro is, in fact, still quicker, despite the older set on his number 27 Supra, and Stagner goes way high there, trying to brute force it. Does it work? No, but he got really close that time by. That might be the best move he's made all race long, trying to get that lead right back. And we know DJ has an awful lot of speed in that number 64. He's just got to put it together. Stagner right now in the second spot as he comes through the tunnel turn. knows what it takes. And right now, it's going to take a lot of patience and persistence if he wants to make it further and further up the ladder. He's about as close as it can get without being up in front. And DJ Stagner right now only about a tenth of a second away from the top dog conversation. Navarro is still leading the way as they get a bit shuffled that time by. It could be side drafting coming into the equation once again. And right now we see one man coming down the pit road. That's going to be Blake Gordon, and he makes it in a bit early. 30 laps into his stint, the number 48 makes it through. And this begs the question, will we see more guys come in on their strategy sometime soon? Well, the answer is in the hands of guys like DeBarro as Stagner takes your lead by 0.2 of a second. And now DJ Stagner finds himself the race leader with Anthony DeBarro there in second. Chuck Sweeting is in third, and Alec Daffin is now in fourth. It is the man in that number 8 machine, though, Matthew Thornor still in fifth. And while Thomas Bresci fell down to the position number 12, it's Thornor who is still kicking and finds himself currently third out of the drivers in the clash. Your leading man is now a clash driver in DJ Stagner all over again, but Thornor has been able to hold on better than many of his contemporaries. Chuck Sweeting down this time by. He'll be the second man in. We'll see if any more choose to follow. This time by, it looks like there will not be all too many, if there are any. Carson Bechtel stays out. Forrest Smith real loose stays out. And it looks like Sweeting takes it in second. DJ Stagner does not have to worry for at least 15 more laps. DeBarro, though, will have to come in sometime soon. Could the undercut work, or will it be the way of the overcut tonight? We're still not yet sure, as 32 laps have passed and only 2 drivers come in for strategic stops. And as they come by to lap number 33, once again, DJ Stagner has the hold of this lead that he's wanted for quite some time. Alec Daffin now is in third and second of the guys in the clash, and Daffin has put the pedal to the metal. Thornorston this time by, so he's going to come in alongside Michael Stroll and Thomas Bresci. Now, with drivers coming in, it's going to be a bit of a changing landscape, and that number 1 machine now finds himself in second. Many drivers stay out, though many are on a different strategy compared to those who were up in front about 5-10 laps ago. And changing times see changing drivers up in front. Now Daffin finds himself in second. DJ Stagner's in first. Nicholas Cohan leads the non-clash effort now, as he is now in third. It's Don Stevenson, position number 4. Braxton DeWeese now in fifth, and Nick Tarbuck all over him in sixth. And these two have battled for quite some time. Now Braxton has the better of Nick as they come through the tunnel turn all over again. And that time by Braxton to the wall. That's exactly what he didn't want to have happen. And as we said, he had the advantage. It looks like he loses it just like that. Only loses 2 spots that time by. Just has to get it back under control. But the 15 makes contact with the wall and finds himself all out of sorts as that time by Tarbuck comes in. And it looks like that's all for naught, as he could have just kept it under control and kept the spot, the number 29, in this time through. And now we see about 5-10 guys on pit road, many coming in at various different times. And as it stands, your top man on the older set of tires is now Cody Griffin. He's been on these for 34 laps, and he is still there in fifth within 5 seconds of your leader. And right now, he is running just about a second off the pace each and every lap. That time by here in a 57.125 compared to DJ Stagner's 56.301. The best lap overall for your leader was a 55.136. So putting that in mind, these guys are much, much slower than their all-time fastest, but they still are pretty quick overall. The draft has been broken, though, for DJ Stagner. That could be a major factor as he comes down the line to complete a 56.5. Cody Griffin in this time by, and now the experiment coming to a close. The last man to run on a 34-lap stint makes his way in, and now the middleman, including Chris Gabot and Brian McFerrin, who are on a 28-lap old stint, will have to choose wisely when to make their way through. They're in the middle, and they have the least sample size of any group, and they have less data to rely on. Who will come in first and break the ice? That remains to be seen, as Stagner now approaching his 20th lap on this set. And we thought it was a bit of a risky maneuver to make it in very early into the race, and it looks like it has paid off quite well. Now Stagner finds himself with a 2.5 second lead and the newest tires in the field relative to those who made their first pit stop. He is still having his second awaiting him, and that will put him back on the A-ball once again, so he does not have to worry not one bit. He's got a big lead right now in Alec Daffin, and an even bigger lead on those with the new set of Goodyear rubber. Chuck Sweeting leads that pack right now. We'll see whether or not he's able to lead it all the way. However, Chuck has been one big contender all night long, and that number 75 machine has been a force to be reckoned with in this 75-lap event. Don't mess around with this Chevy Camaro. He's been an underdog for most of the season, not being here, but it looks like he's found himself as one of the best here in Pocono. Watch out, this number 75 is on the loose, and he's found himself yet again up in front. It's as if he never left, and right now he finds himself in 16th. Anthony Navarro now in 17th, chasing him down slowly but surely. Jacob Fife right now off cycle in 21st. The front am damage indeed got to him. He'll have to come down pit road within the next 10 or 15 laps. We'll find out when, as DJ Stagner still holds on strong in the 21st lap of his run. And Chris Cabot comes in and the first to break the ice for the middleman. The 54 in, and that leaves Brian McFerrin right now hanging, and it looks like he will be the only man hanging as the number 54 down and in with Forrest Smith in his 20th lap of his stint as well. And two drivers on pit road as it stands. McFerrin stays out, but Cabot going to be in with Forrest Smith, and the leaders coming by this time by will put him one down. You can see Michael Stroll in your frame beforehand, but DJ Stagner right now is just about 36 seconds up on Chris Cabot and 34 up on Michael Stroll. The gap, it is major right now, and it's almost unpredictable the way these guys are building gaps and losing them. Pit stops have been about 41 seconds on average, and that is the time to beat for the 64. The best pit stop so far was executed by Nicholas Cohan in our yellow flag period. Right now, he's in second, but it's 40.1 tops the charts for those on a full 4 tires and fuel stop, as Brian McFerrin makes his way in this time by in position number 10. Down he goes, and it looks like a bit of damage on the front end, but not major, so he should be able to continue without much of an issue. Stagner still going, 31 laps in Brian McFerrin was, and it looks like that leaves Stagner with just about 9 laps going. The cross flags have waved, make it 38 laps to go. 38 laps in, we have passed the halfway marker, and there's still so much action remaining here in Pocono. The Evolution Disc Golf 188 has evolved to be a strategy race. What we first thought would be a bit dicier and a bit more intense with short runs and many chaotic incidents to follow has become a long run, and that number 64 now with 37 laps to go has the edge on strategy that he desires indeed. Nicholas Cohan in the second spot, he's in the 57, and while he has broken out as well, not to the degree of the 64. Slowly but surely, your leading drivers in the new set of tires have broken out of their shell. Chuck Sweeting is in 13th right now, chasing down Joe Dinsmore, only about a second ahead of him, and that number 75 as he comes through on the start finish line tries to make his way in, and it looks like now the gap is extended just a bit, but the 75 got the heat down in it, and he's now chasing with ease. DeBarro's about 2 seconds back on Chuck Sweeting as it stands. If that 75 has the gamble on tires that is worth it, he could be the leader at the end of the day, and I believe he actually put down one of the fastest laps of the race so far. It was a 54.896 in race condition, one of the best to do it so far. This number 75 has been, and 39 laps in, more than halfway. He's gonna have to put the jets on if he wants to find himself in victory lane at end of day. Single file, a good majority of this pack is. Now Blake Gordon chases down Michael Stroll all over again, with Blake Gordon in 17th, Tarbuck in 18th, and Thomas Bressie way back in 19th, making a move on the lap down machine of Gael Brooks. DJ Stagner now in the 9th position, 36 laps remaining. Nicholas Cohan in 2nd, and Don Stevenson there in 3rd. Alec Davin still in 4th, and Cody Smith is in 5th. And with 36 laps remaining, this number 64 is on cruise control, putting lap in, lap out, and he seems to have it all fine-tuned as he comes across the start-finish. Once again, the complete lap number 40, the closest battle on the circuit is Dinsmore and Chuck Sweeting, and Sweeting gets by with ease. And while that might have been a close battle, according to our timing and scoring, there is no match for the man in that number 75. Right now, his pace is not to be undone, and he currently finds himself in a great spot to go at it for the remainder of the way. As it stands, that Chuck Sweeting machine makes it through with an awful lot of pace. That time by, he put down a 55.699 compared to DJ Stagner's 56.892. So it is clear that Chuck is faster. He goes down to the inside line on Brandon Bernhardt and gets it done for now the 10th position. Chuck is moving, no other way to put it, and that 75 is now hunting down yet another driver in Kyle Cooper. Alan Rollo is going to be next after that, but Alan will be a bit of a harder task to get to as he's currently about 8 seconds up on the both of them as it stands. Alan going to be in 8th, Kyle Cooper is in 9th, and we'll see how fast this number 75 gets by the number 73. And it looks like it's only going to take about a straightaway here as the 75 is clear of Kyle Cooper. The pace deficit is major. That time by, Cooper put down a 58.268. It seems like his car has an awful lot of damage. So does Bernhardt. And the battle of the damaged machines, it will go on. And now it seems like to borrow about a second and a half off of your man up in front in Chuck Sweeting. Sweeting, though, is pulling away slowly but surely with all this lap traffic holding the 27 up. And now, while DeBarro gets by, it is not without using a bit more of the tire than the man in that number 75 used. Just a bit different pace and a bit different usage of those in front and behind you. And 34 laps to go. Anthony DeBarro chasing down Chuck Sweeting, your effective leader in this new set of tire. And he still has that 43 laps in. Time is running out and it is all dissipating before his eyes. And while he is still the leader of this battle, now about a second ahead compared to what was about a 2.5 second lead 15 laps ago. So he's now found himself a bit further back than he'd like on pace. That 27 has no deficit and he is chasing down a win. And you know that he wants one just about as much as anyone would in this league, if not more. DeBarro has found himself denied of a victory time and time again. An aggressive driver who will do what it takes to get a win, and sometimes it just doesn't pay off. Tonight, though, could be the night where the big payoff is found as 33 laps remain, and the number 27 certainly has the pace to make it a Sweeting if that number 75 has any more slip-ups. That time by, they were about even. However, DeBarro was quicker by about 100th of a second, so it could be big enough distance to gain for the 27 machine with oh so little time remaining before the next pit cycle for your overall leader in DJ Stagner. And with DJ Stagner holding the torch for the entirety of this field, he's only about 5 laps away from his pit stop as Carson Bakto comes in down this time by 27 laps in on his stint, and he chooses to cut it early and trying to go the rest of the way on one stop, trying to make it barely to the checkered flag with fuel here. A bit of a risk, but it could go his way. We will find out. And so does Joe Dinsmore come down and in. And Bressie makes it by. Dinsmore makes it in. And the 95 for his final pit stop of the night, bar a yellow flag, is now down and ready to take service one last time with a bit of rear end damage. He might get some of that fixed, given the distance to the leaders. And DJ Stagner comes in this time by. Will Nicholas Cohan follow him? Yes, he does. Stevenson makes it in as well. Will Alec Daffin? Yes, he does indeed. And Cody Smith makes his way through as he comes out of the final corner, turn 3, and this is his 4th turn into pit road as now Jonathan Gearvon will the man takes the race lead, and he will be able to lead one lap on the night. How about that for the man who presents this event to you? Once again, use promo code EVOJG46 for 10% off your order at EvolutionDiscs.com. We'd love to have you aboard on EvolutionDiscs.com, the proud presenter and partner of tonight's event and the title sponsor of the penultimate round of the season here in Pocono. And Gearvon now leads by about 6 seconds, and the yellow flag is out. Just like that, bar a yellow, and we got it. Alec Daffin appears to be out of pit road, and it looks like it could have been an incident on pit road that prompted this yellow flag. My oh my, we're trying to get a read on what just happened, and it looks like we don't have much a word. We're trying to look through nothing on our incidents say that someone got involved. It could have been Joe Dinsmore. It could not have been. And it looks like the yellow flag is in the air. That number 44 machine of Gearmon, well, it's lap number 44 of him, and he is now the man up in front. No indication of anything that could have caused a yellow flag on our end. And just like that, 30 laps remain, and we are under yellow once again. And Carson Bechtel, he retired after his pit stop there. Boomer Logan has a bit of scraped up damage from the incident we saw before. Io Cooper, 23rd spot, has not much damage on him. And Joe Dinsmore right now finds himself in good spirit. And even though he is one down, he should be able to get his lap back here. And now Gearvon is the leader at the yellow flag. Chuck Sweeting is there in second, and Anthony DeBarro is there in third, with Matthew Thunders in position number 4. And the money stop finds itself broken up halfway through the run. The 33 machine of Gearvon will have to come down to pit road, but he does get some lead lap bonus points, so that will be a big advantage on his end that he certainly would love to have heading into the final few laps of this race. Only 30 laps remain, and even less than that will be when we get back to green with about 27 laps remaining. And the 33 due to come down and in, letting Dinsmore, Cooper, and Chuck Sweeting by, as Sweeting will now be your overall leader in this event. It looks like it panned out quite well for him, and that means that he'll have a load of competition with newer tires to work with, notably Nicholas Kohan. As it stands, Kohan in 9th is the man with the newest tires in the highest position, and everyone comes down pit road, so no advantage to anyone. The 33 leads the field down and in, and now the money stop happens under yellow. And with such a big shift up in strategy, the number 33 machine makes his way in. Chuck Sweeting going to be right there after him. Everyone coming down and in through pit road. And this is all that matters. As you can see, this is your pit exit camera. Sweeting makes it through. DeBarro makes it in. Who will be the first man out? We'll find out with 29 laps to go with DJ Stagner out in front. Now, DeBarro will have to get on the move. It's going to be Nicholas Kohan out first. Does he get the jump? It looks like he does. It's going to be Kohan. Then it's going to be Chris Cabot, Don Stevenson, Chuck Sweeting, Anthony DeBarro. Then it's going to be Gearvon Stroll, Donors, Blake Gordon. Then it's going to be Dick Tarba, Cody Griffin, Casey Shue. And finally going to be Brian McFerrin on this run, as Stevenson now out on his way. Chris Cabot going to be Nicholas Kohan. And I do believe that at the end of the day, on that run anyway, Nicholas Kohan is advantageous and wins off pit road, with DJ Stagner, your overall winner, only coming in 2 laps ago. So it looks like despite all that, he does have an advantage compared to his contemporaries. DJ Stagner only 2 laps of heated up pressure on the tire, and it should be good enough to go all the way from here on out. Alec Daffin right now going to be in the second spot. Cody Smith is in third. And with only 2 laps to spare between these drivers, and most of which being run under yellow, there won't be much of a difference between the pace between guys like Stagner, Daffin, and Smith, and guys like Kohan, Bernhardt, and Chris Cabot. Now the reason is, of course, under yellow right now, they've only been on their pit cycle, or their tires from the pit cycle, for about a half lap under green. The power was not put down all too much. The pressure, it is not mounted on, and the temperature is not as high as it would be if we were under green. So Stagner down low, Alec Daffin going to be right down low with him, and Cody Smith up high, with now only a total of just about 28 laps remaining. We will be back green at 27 laps to go. And now Kyle Cooper getting his lap back. We see a few guys on pit road once again. Casey Shue, Brian McFerrin, DeBarro looks to be right there with them. And Anthony DeBarro in that number 27 machine finds himself down on pit road with a bit of trouble. Will it be another pit stop for him? It looks like a miscalculation after his last one, costing him an awful lot of spots and perhaps a shot at the win. This number 27 has found himself all out of sorts when it comes down to the final few laps in any race, and it seems to strike him once again. Bad luck finds the 27. He's back on his way, but not without losing all of his track position from up front in the field. Now down to 20th. DeBarro going to be followed by Thomas Bressie in 21st and Gael Brooks 25th, but 4 laps down nonetheless. Right now, DJ Stagger coming through the tunnel turn, big time damage for some drivers, and looks like some damage for the number 15 machine in Braxton Deweese. As it stands, Deweese is in the 15th spot, and you can see some damage on the right side of that number 15 machine. Indeed, a lot of drivers right now seem to have scrapes on it, and some front end is visible there as well, but we've seen drivers persevere through it, and Deweese in the prime position to do that once again. And right now for the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group, that number 15 lines up in 15th alongside no one, as the inside line is occupied in full, and the last man on the outside will be Joe Dinsmore. And it's been a long time since our third restart, but now we're getting ready for our fourth. Lap number 49 going to welcome us to restart number 4. Let's get right into it. DJ Stagner, your leader once again, this time by Cody Smith right there with him. We're green once more, and restart number 4 is back on our way with Pocono Racing, led by DJ Stagner. Alec Daffin going to be there in second, and Cody Smith in third, as new tires battle old one more time in Long Pond. Now DJ Stagner able to get that lead. Big hit for Chris Cabot. Is it going to be a wreck? It looks like no. Everyone saves it. Or do they? No. That's going to be a big hit for Gearvon, and that will bring out the yellow once again. And that could have been the save of the season. But it's all for naught after multiple incidents cause a big stack up, and restart number 5 will be on its way. Let's get the instant replay on what just happened here. As you can see, they took a 3 entering turn number 1, and it begins with guys in the middle of this field. The number 33 of Jonathan Gearvon right there with them, and looks like Tarbuck almost gets to the Griffin, lets him go, and it begins right in front. Blake Gordon gets loose. Then Chris Cabot in the wall, hits Rawwell. Rawwell stops it. And then the 33 Gearvon taps Allen again. Allen gets pounded by Casey Shue, gets him straight once more. And then the 33 gets tapped by Casey Shue, and that brings them both around. The yellow flag, Boomer Logan gets in it as well. Big hit on the side for him. And many drivers involved, and once again, many with perhaps championship implications. Jacob Fife got by that time but it could have been much, much worse, as we see Gearvon getting back on his way, and we'll send it back to your leader once again. My oh my, big time hit, and we now have your second caution in the last 5 laps. That's your 5th caution overall, as we send it back to the live feed here on FTN. It's Stagner leading the way 50 laps in. And 26 laps remain. Go 15. Doug Mindorf types in chat. And right now, DJ Stagner in that 64 has had them all on lock. Alec Daffin makes it up to second. It's Nicholas Cohan here in third, and Cody Smith in fourth. And it looks like right now, not much going on for that number 57 holding on in third. It looks like actually we weren't able to read it all too well, so we kind of defaulted to the Jeff Schmidt there. That's unrivaled cinematography, and it looks, again, in the better view of it, that is indeed the Unrivaled group, and it's been a great run with this paint scheme. We've seen some great finishes out of Deweese, and he's been able to pull out some of his best all season, notably the last few races such as Michigan and at Dover. So now looking to get back on to the hot swing, and it looks like he'll stay out, but many drivers on back go in. Jacob Fife, one of which, Kyle Cooper there as well. Gearvon going to come in with Casey Shue, and Boomer Logan alongside Gael Brooks. And it looks like Brooks stays out. He's looking for yet another lap to get back with the leaders. Still 4 laps down, but he still has a chance with so many yellows in succession. 25 laps to go. And since we're under yellow, we'll get this one out of the way for you here and now. NextLevelRacing.com, our second promotional break of the night. And once again, as always, high quality sim race and performance products for dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best. Visit NextLevelRacing.com for more information. As always, a proud partner of the Integrity Racing League, and they are always contributing to what's next for this league, with their championship prize being the best yet, a $2,000 sim rig to the winners of the Ignite and Octane Series Championship after the conclusion of both full season. So we thank y'all for your support so far. 50 laps in, 25 laps to go, and we'll be back after this brief break live on FTN. This has been the Evolution Disc Golf 188 so far. We've still got the final few miles remaining, so stay tuned as we return for a brief interruption courtesy of NextLevelRacing.com. And that is your second Next Level Racing promotional break. As always, NextLevelRacing.com, the best place to go for all your sim racing equipment needs. And right now, the Next Level Racing driver in that 18 and Cody Smith goes right down low, and he'll keep it low with Alec Daffin and your leader overall, DJ Stagner. We'll head back to green with only 13 or rather 23 laps to go. Getting a bit ahead of myself there, as no driver is on a stint more than 10 laps long on their tire. The most up front, it's DJ Stagner with 7. Cal Filarski leads them overall, 10 laps on his last stint, but he's been in pit road for about a half hour here, so I don't believe he'll be in contention. As they come through once again, 25 drivers still going at it. Gael Brooks only 3 laps down now. Carson Bagtel, Forrest Smith, Cal Filarski, Rob Ackley, and Travis McQuistion, the retirees for tonight. Brandon Wencher not able to make it to the green flag as well. So the 88, the 31st attempt to register, and the 30th starter is the 93 of McQuistion. A lot on the way live on FTN, and as we have just a bit more time, here is your schedule for this week. So if you want to tune into more FTN action, a lot of drivers from this league carry over. Here are the events scheduled for the remainder of the week. The Octane Series is going to be on Tuesday, alongside the Highline Racing League Texaco Truck Series, where DJ Stagner races, and the Highline Racing League Premier Series, another league with your leader in Stagner. That's Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern. Alec Daffin finds himself in the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series on 8:10 Eastern Saturday nights, and the Full Send Super Speedway Series on Saturday as well at 4:45, all times in Eastern Seaboard time. If you want to keep up with us, we'd love to have you aboard. Those are your scheduled broadcasts for this week. And right now, we've got one more coming at you on this Monday night. 23 laps remain. Restart number 5. Let's get right into it here and now. Let's get to the man in that 64 leading the way. Let's get at from Pocono once again. DJ Stagner lets them through with 23 laps remaining. And Stagner holds him at bay right now. 23 laps remaining. How about that up in front? That number 64 stays. They're going to be double file at the very most. Now Braxton Weiss fighting hard with Nick Tarbuck there in the 12th spot. Double file 3 rows deep. It's Griffin Bernhardt, Blake Gordon, Chuck Sweeting, Don Stevenson, and then it's Matthew Funhorst and Cody Smith. Smith down low. DJ Stagner right there with him. It's going to be a side-by-side battle at the line. This time through. 22 laps to go coming up, so we'll keep it brief. TrackCams22.com. Let's crank it up. The biggest lead battle of the night is coming here and now, and the best cameras on iRacing will give you all the views as we send it live on FTN uninterrupted with the crank it up of a lifetime. 22 to go in the penultimate round of the season. Let's crank it up, courtesy of TrackCams22.com. And with 19 laps to go, Nicholas Cohan is your new race leader, and it looks like that number 57 machine has a new trick up his sleeve with a new set of Goodyear Eagles. It's Michael Stroll now in position number 2, DJ Stagner there in 3rd, and Matthew Thorner still in 4th. And now the race lead battle is not all about the clash. The 38 and the 57 going for the checkered flag just like that. Cohan not a winner this season. Michael Stroll has 1 win this season so far, looking to make it a multi-time season for the man in the 38, trying to head to victory lane, this time by Northeast once again. He's been up in the class of the field all season long that we've seen him, and on the Northeast swing that we've been on, Dover, Michigan, Pocono, he has been second and almost none. However, tonight could make a top class driver all over again. He's looking to get it done here with 18 remaining, chasing down Cohan, and Nicholas has been fierce ever since his return last week at Dover. He was oh so close to getting that one done. An incredible battle between himself and Tom Wetmore, but right now that number 57 just has to lock down and lock in and run toward the checkered flag as the tunnel turn makes them all go that much quicker. A great turn with an awful lot of momentum. They go up to speeds of about 180 miles an hour before heading into turn number 3. Then they get it back on the way. And right now, Nicholas Cohan holds on strong. Michael Stroll stays there in 2nd. It's DJ Stagner in 3rd. Matthew Thunderst in 4th now. And that 4th position held strong as he's got all of the defense and offense he'd need to work on. Now they go draft breaking. It's Nicholas Cohan who went all the way down to the bottom of the track trying to break that toe. Michael Stroll had none of it and followed him all the way down and went up again. That is exactly how you do it if you're in the 38th position, and it looks like that number 38 not going to take him all the way that time. He does not want to fall for these antics. The 57 at this rate knows he is just a bit slower, and he's now trying everything to keep the 38 behind him. Defense is the only way to go from here on out. And it looks like that number 57 is trying anything with only just about 17 laps on the agenda from here to the checkered. Michael Stroll going to stay in 2nd, Stagner's in 3rd, Matthew Thunders is indeed in 4th, and now Blake Gordon is chasing Chuck Sweeting. A great return race for Chuck Sweeting. But how about the race we've seen from Blake Gordon? He's been quick as well, a bit involved in the chaos early, but he's been able to lock it down and get himself back up in front without much an incident. Great to see that 48 back in front, chasing checkers. He's an aggressive driver as well, and we've seen it tonight, but so far he has not seen much use of his chrome horn up in front. The bumper not using it, but he's still made those positions pass. As now 60 laps in, he's in position number 6, and just about as quick as your leaders, if not just a bit quicker. 57 and Nicholas Cohan leads by 0.2 of a second here over Michael Stroll, and the top 2 battle somehow has become all too close and all too far in the same way. It almost looked like it was going to be a runaway win for DJ Stagner the way the race was going, but the 5th yellow flag made it all switch up, and of course the 4th did as well. Chuck Sweeting was the leader overall at that rate, and while he is still in the 5th spot, it could have been a much better predicament for him to come home with the win. Perplexing it is, the strategy's always been up in the air at a track like Pocono. 1 yellow flag can have you from 0 to 0 and vice versa. So right now the 57 and the 38 who have picked their cards just right are now playing the beneficiary as the 57 now runs toward the back just a bit quicker than the 38 that time by. And the draft at a track like Pocono Raceway is up and down. It can be used to your advantage. However, if you are not hitting your marks lap after lap, you won't see all too much out of it. Matthew Thorners from the back bumper of Stagner right now. This is for the overall championship lead, and Stagner, out of every driver in the clash, has had the most complete race overall. Yes, many drivers have been up in front, leading laps who have been in the clash, but I would say that every one of them, he has put together the most fair, complete race of them all, leading the most, I believe, and getting those early laps in, including the pole position. Now finds himself in a great spot to come home with the overall points lead with only 1 race remaining. This is not an elimination race before your final 4. It's the final 9 competing for it all at Homestead, Miami Speedway. You know, it's all going to come down to that final race. Actually, it's going to be Charlotte, my oh my. Now, Homestead will keep that in their back pocket and go to the 2023 B finale. Keep an eye out for that as the season goes on. You won't miss Homestead this season, but it's not coming this early. Charlotte Motor Speedway for 300 miles will be what's immediately up next. 14 laps remain. Cohan's going to be the man who leads out in front. It's Michael Stroll still right there with them, but it now seems the 57th man will lock it down and take them through lap after lap as they come to the stripe, making a baker's dozen, and the 57 leads them through once again. Now Nicholas Cohan goes all the way down and all the way up, loses a lot of speed doing so. It seems like it does not affect him all too much. Makes it into the corner. Now Michael Stroll set a little off axis, and DJ Stagner coming through with that quarter panel might be able to make a move. Now Cohan with that maneuver finds himself up in front. Chuck Sweeting goes down low trying to get a taste of that draft. Will he get anything of it? It looks like he will not. Stagner stays right behind Stroll. Nothing more he can do but wait as the 38 finds himself now about a 0.3 of a second gap behind the leader. It was closer than that before, but it seems like Cohan's antics have made him a bit of a better driver in terms of gaining a gap, and his defense have turned him to an offensive driver, putting a bit more attack into each and every lap. So now that number 57 finds himself in a better situation, but Michael Stroll gonna take it down low and chase that draft and get that air cut for him, and then come up just a bit earlier. That might be the way to go for the 38 right now. Not trying to lose a lot of speed and battle DJ Stagner, but if he can take any advantage, he will have to. His speed, it is still very quick compared to the rest of the field, but the leader in Cohan has something figured out that nobody else does, and this entire train of drivers is looking and learning to find out whether or not that key can be found and unlocked within the final 12 laps. Cohan leads them. It's still Michael Stroll who keeps them honest, and DJ Stagner staying in what could be the catbird seat tonight if these two do make contact. Now, first to make contact, you'll have to catch the driver, and that's the big issue for a guy like Stagner. He's being held back even though he does not have the pace. He'd love to be there in second. Held back not one spot, but 2 spots in the battle for lead. It is one of the worst positions to be in as a driver, so he'd love to find himself with that clean air. He stays up high that time by Michael Stroll. He does not. He goes down low just a bit, and every driver taking a different approach to chasing down your leader. Right now, Michael seems to have a bit of a different approach, going a bit low in the turns where Nicholas Cohan tries to weave and dodge. DJ Stagner just stays up no matter what. If Michael Stroll makes a mistake, it's not his problem. He'll be able to take that spot back like it is nothing. So he knows what he's doing here as he waits for something to come up, an opportunity to be found, and an opportunity to be made of a driver. That's what he'd love to see. 11 laps remain, and it is still the 38 for the AC Delco machine. Holds on strong. It's Stagner right now in third, Matthew Thunderston fourth, and Blake Gordon fifth as Chuck Sweeting holds on in position number 6. Cody Griffin is going to go in 7th, Anthony Laval is going to be in 8th, and Don Stevenson is 9th as a big wheel there for the Cody Griffin machine. And now Chuck Sweeting gets right by him. Quarter panel, and it looks like the number 3 has the edge nonetheless. And Sweeting gonna let him by. How about that? The number 3 gets back on the move, and Chuck lets it by about a half of a second. And it's a bit perplexing, but it seems like the battle is still going on just like that. Griffin on a bit of an old, newer set of tire, as a matter of fact, but that 75 has a lot of speed, might have been able to dodge him and get him to fake himself out, make a mistake early, get him back late. The 75 is still driving as hard as he can, but doing it with a bit of a different method. 10 laps to go this time by. It'll be 9 next time around. And to get it out of the way, this will be your final Next Level Racing promotional break of the night. NextLevelRacing.com, high quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best. Visit NextLevelRacing.com for more information as we will return with 9 laps to go on the board here in the Evolution Disc Golf 188. We'll be back before all the action gets to its final moments. And that will be your final next level racing.com promotional break. The race is back on for the lead. Thunderous in the wall that time by, and that might free it up for DJ Stagner, but it will not free up Michael Stroll at all. 8 laps to go, and the drivers still continue to battle like it is the last lap. Each and every moment matters. Here's the Kohan machine, takes it right down low. It's Michael Stroll there in second, DJ Stagner in third, Matthew Thunderous now in fourth, and Blake Gordon there in fifth. The top 5 guys break away. It is still Sweeting and Griffin battling fiercely, and Thunderous got in the wall for just a bit there, but he still seems to have a bit of momentum. Not if the 48 has anything to say about it, and now it looks like Blake Gordon goes down to the inside line for the 4th spot, and they'll be running up the track just like that. The 8 machine has the edge off the exit, but the 48 makes his intentions known, and now finds himself only a spot off of the podium for a brief moment. He still is only 2 away, but the 8 machine knows he's going to have to be there to stay in the defensive if he wants any chance. Now Nicholas Kohan makes a bit of a miss up, and it's going to be all about the 38 now. The run down to the first turn. Stroll, will he go high or go low? He stays high now, and it could be the move of the race if he makes it happen. Up high, Michael Stroll might be able to put the power down. Does he diamond arc it? It looks like he just might. Kohan goes high while Stroll goes low, and the power gets put down, and that's exactly what he needed. Down the back this time by, Kohan goes down low once again. The rest of the field going to follow Michael Stroll now, and the 38 almost gets it done. No cigar that time by. And just like that, Michael Stroll now finds himself as close as he can get to the race win. It's the closest anyone's been to Kohan on this run so far, within 1/10 of a second. Right aboard lap 69, a nice run for Michael Stroll thus far, but he wants to finish it off with the checkered flag. As they come through turn number 3, Kohan puts the power down, but Michael has that run, and Nicholas gets really close to the wall that time by, and that's Otto Urkum, and he goes down low. Stroll delicately follows him down using the line of least resistance. They go down to the pit entry and the pit exit, and the 57 comes up high. Once again, this is getting dicey, and it could get a bit more crazy as the laps wind down. 6 laps to go, and the 57 of Nicholas Kohan leads the way, but now he's got a lot of pressure on him. Michael Stroll down low as well. DJ Stagner stays up high. He's not having none of it, and he knows he can't jeopardize his spot right now. Leading the drivers in the clash, this could be the win of the championship on the line. As these two battle, he knows a big title dream is ahead of him. He just wants to stay in third right now and defend on that number 8. Michael Stroll knows chasing checkered flags is all he has this season. 70 laps in, he's won already. He could become a multi-time winner and join the likes of the top echelon in this season. Looking to light the fuse on a multi-win season. He is one of the guys to watch for your second season of this year. 2023B, he could be a championship favorite, but right now, Michael Stroll just looking to knock off wins here in the first season of the Integrity Ignite Series. Right down low, Kohan goes. Right now, Michael Stroll gonna let him off just a bit, and the gap widens once again. Kohan almost gets in the wall that time by, though. Michael Stroll follows him down once again. Stagner stays up high. What do? It looks like they all come back up just once more to the tunnel turn. Here they go again. And Michael right now knows that every inch matters. He's getting closer and closer, but now he seems to stretch it out once again. It could be a come and go cycle for the man in that number 38. Sometimes you gotta push, sometimes you gotta let it go right back to the hands of the leader, and maybe this back and forth cycle will keep the 57 on his toes. Off corner exit once again, the 38 follows him down full on this time by, and make it 4 laps to go as Kohan goes down to the pit entry. It's risky, it's riskier, and it could be the riskiest driving we've seen all race long, but it does keep him up in front. 72 in, and now Kohan is gaining more and more time on his gap. Once again, make it 4/10 of a second, and just like that, Michael Stroll might find himself in trouble as DJ Stagner trying to chase him down for that second spot. He's right there. Matthew Thornworth is as well, and I think both of these drivers would like to pounce at any opportunity to gain more of a buffer to guys like Stevenson and Thomas Bressi. Going into the next race at Charlotte, the season finale for 2023A, Stagner and Thunderous at this rate would be the title favorites, mathematically providing themselves a major advantage over the rest of the field. 57 machine comes down to make it 3 laps to go. This time by almost in the wall. He chooses to stay up high this time through. Michael Stroll goes just a bit down low, tries to get some clean air. Not going to be much worth it. And now that 57 has the edge of a lifetime. 3 laps to go, and Nicholas Cohan now is up in the prime spot to take it home with the win. Michael Stroll getting right there in position number 2, 3/10 of a second away. Does he put the power down once again? It looks like he is. He goes down low, chasing big. Boomer Logan in frame. DJ Stagner goes and does chase it, and so does Matthew Thornor. So a change in attitude right behind the leaders, and the top 5 continue to battle right on board with the number 57 here. Michael Stroll gets a bit squirrely, and that's music to the number 57's ears. They can't worry about the mirror driving all too much, but you know that every second the 57 has a bit of spare time, he'll look back there and see what he has to do, and every reaction to every action matters that much more. Make it 2 laps to go this time by. It's going to be the white flag next time through here in the Evolution Disc Golf 188, and Nicholas Cohan still has the lead from Michael Stroll in 2nd and DJ Stagner in 3rd. Matthew going to be there in 4th, and Blake Gordon now in 5th. The rest of the field far, far apart. They're strung out more than anyone else in this battle. This is as close as it gets all race long, and 74 laps in, it is Cohan right there, battling still they are. Chuck Sweeting and the Cody Griffin machine, they're close. What's it going to be when they come to the line? We will find out. The leaders, though, they're still as tight as it can get, packed in like sardines. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, they're right together now. Blake Gordon falls off just a bit, but it is still possible for him to make it back up. Michael Stroll, now about a half second off your leader, knows it's do or die this time by. What's his choice? We'll find out. And 1 lap to go this time by for Nicholas Cohan. The white flag waves for the number 57 machine. 1 lap left in Pocono for the number 57 to get it done. Michael Stroll still there in 2nd. It's DJ Stagner in 3rd and Matthew Thunderston 4th. And as they come into the turn number 1 once again, this could be the final opportunity coming up ahead. Michael Stroll dives it in, puts the power down. Is it going to be enough? Maybe it will be. It's now a 3/10 of a second deficit as they come to the tunnel turn one more time. Blake Gordon on the wall, not enough for him. It's do or die, send it or do nothing of it. If the 38 makes something happen, we'll find out as they dive into the tunnel turn. It's going to be Cohan, your leader. Stroll not doing much indeed. And now the 57 has 1 more turn to get this one done. And Cohan, like the driver returned before him, and Michael Stroll having not the best first race, but the second one is where it all comes together. The first might be the worst, but for Nicholas Cohan's return tour, 2nd is the best. Nicholas Cohan wins the Evolution Disc Golf 188 and finds himself as another championship spoiler in the ever-exciting Integrity Ignite Series Clash. DJ Stagner comes home the top man of the Clash tonight and sets himself up for one wild ride at Charlotte to decide your championship victory. Nicholas Cohan, welcome back to the Integrity Ignite Series and welcome back to Victory Lane. The number 57 makes it happen, and just like that, Cohan is now in the place to be. Victory Lane, he'll make it through. Let's get your race result after this one. Stick around for more thoughts from your drivers, race results, interviews. We'll be right there with you as we get this one back on the move. A great win for the man in that number 57, and what a way to get back at it. Nicholas Cohan wins this one from Michael Stroll 3/10 back, and your poster and DJ Stagner still outclasses the Clash and finishes first of those in the Clash. 3rd overall from pole. Matthew Thunderston 1st, and then Blake Gordon in 5th, with Cody Griffin position number 6, Chuck Sweeting in 7th, Anthony Navarro going to be in 8th, and Don Stevenson 9th, as Thomas Bretsky rebounds to position number 10, and Alec Daffin holds on for 11th. Going to be Brian McFerrin in 12th, Cody Smith in 13th, Nick Tarbuck in 14th, and Braxton Luis there in position number 15. Kyle Cooper in position number 16. Alan Rawell in 17th. Joe Dinsmore 18th. Brandon Bernhardt in 19th. And Jacob Fife in 20th. Able to recover from some big time damage early on. From there on out, Jonathan Giervon 21st. Boomer Logan 22nd. Gael Brooks in 23rd. And Chris Cabot in 24th. Casey Shue going to be position number 25. Carson Bechtel going to be 26th. Forrest Smith is 27th, and Cal Filarski is going to be in position number 28, as Rob Ackley, one of the championship hopeful, sees it all go down from top seaming the round of 16 to an instant wreck in tonight's event, 29th, and Travis McQuistion, the final driver on tonight's event sheet. Brandon Wenjard, registered, will not be shown on the results, 31st and last, but McQuistion gets the final points as 30th and the last man on the circuit. With that being said, it's Kohan making his way through for his celebration, and we'll get to watch it live and uninterrupted. Give us just a moment as we get your interview systems up live on FTN. What a way to win it for the 57 as he gets to burn down the house here in Long Pond. And burning down the house and having a bit of trouble doing it, it is no worry for Nicholas Kohan coming home on the top spot on the board, having it in reverse. That number 57, ecstatic to get this one done and back on top as he puts it in reverse and putting some backwards burnouts into it. And it looks like that just might be it, but nonetheless a great way to get this one done, and the 57 machine returns in style. What a way to win it for Nicholas Kohan, and coming back after quite a while away, victory lane. It suits him well after a hard-fought race here in Pocono. The Evolution Disc Golf 188, it is yours. The checkered flag falls for you, Nicholas Kohan. How does it feel after 75 laps at the Tricky Triangle?
Yeah, David, that was might not have looked like it, but that was a hard fought battle there to stay out front of Mike there. Got a little lucky, and then that yellow came out as soon as I crossed the pit exit, so I got lucky, but I was really gambling on a goofy strategy there. We were planning on taking 2 tires and only a half tank of gas, and then we were going to come back in, halfway through that run, take 2 tires again and another half tank, see what was going to happen, just to do something different. Kind of glad that didn't happen. I'm glad the yellow came out, and the better option was to come down, slap the other left sides on, and go out there and see what we had, and gave us the track position, and just had to manage the tires, had to save a ton of fuel because we were close, and Mike was faster at the end, so it was a ton of fun. It was just it was a hard-fought battle there. It was a ton of work to stay out in front of him.
And a fantastic battle up in front, and tire strategy, despite a lot of chaos early on, it seems like it played the biggest factor with a 28-lap stint, finishing it off for you and Stroll at the end of the day. So what was the big thing that kept you out there? Was it the clean air working your way? Was it the magic up in front of that car? It seems like it had something figured out differently, or was it simply just defense that kept you there?
Kind of a little bit of everything. It's just, the clean air helps, but, at Pocono, sometimes it's nice to run behind somebody. You kind of get a little better gauge of where you want to enter. I'm not really good at using braking points on the track to brake, so sometimes it's a little hard for me to lead at tracks like this, but Pocono is one of my best tracks. It's been worse for me since they updated it. I missed the character it had, but yeah, it was more of just the clean air and trying to break the draft, because I knew, when you're straight on somebody in these long straightaways, you really can gain a ton of time. So looked like Indycars out there, but it seemed to work. It was just enough to keep him back that he couldn't get to my my quarter panel, because if he got to my quarter panel, it could have been chaos between me, him, and everybody behind us getting involved there. So I didn't want that to happen. So I just had to keep my distance, and just have to really really give thanks to luck there, because that yellow just came out at the perfect time, was able to give me the track position. Restarted third, but fought for the lead there, got it back, and then once we got out front, I had to save fuel and save my tires and manage as best I could to keep Mike at a reasonable distance. That way I had the tires there at the end of the race to run. So just a little bit of a chess game there at the end. So glad we were able to keep this Disney Motorsports number 57 up front.
And it looks like a little bit of everything went your way here in the Tricky Triangle. And we've got one more trick up our sleeve this season. It's Charlotte for 300 miles. So will we expect to see you there? Because it's been all about the championship spoilers here in the Clash. Will we see one more out of you?
Yeah, planning on being here. It'll be tight. Planning on heading down to North Wilkesboro for the race this weekend. So it'll be a little tight. We'll see, though. Hoping to, because Charlotte puts on some pretty decent races here with these cars. A little bit of tire strategy comes into play, so that's definitely my strong suit is the long runs. I'm not. It's just it doesn't matter what car I'm in. I just can't fire up. Can't fire off good on the short runs in the beginning of the races and whatnot. I'm always just saving my stuff and trying to stay out of trouble, and that should come into play at Charlotte. So looking forward to it, and it'll be fun to see how it plays out.
And saving your stuff well here in Pocono Raceway, coming home as the winner of the Evolution Disc Golf 188, the penultimate round of the season. Now, Nicholas Cohan, any final thoughts, anyone else you'd like to thank after an incredible finish here in the Tricky Triangle?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Mike and those guys up there in the front for racing clean. It was a ton of fun. I think I do owe an apology to the 47. I think I squeezed him kind of early on in the race. I'm not sure if he got the wall or not, but I know I did squeeze him there, but that was unintentional. But yeah, as far as this team, Disney Motorsports, got to thank all the guys there. Put in a lot of work. We all don't get to race here as much. It's just me and Ant here on Mondays lately, bouncing back with Shane and Tim. But hopefully have more of the crew here for the second half of the season in the fall. So yeah, thanks to all my teammates at Disney Motorsports, CG Automotive, Lucis Fast Podcast, Beer Hill Gang, and you guys for putting on this broadcast, and of course Integrity Racing League. It's a fun place to race.
And there we have it, a fun race to watch on our end. Nicholas Cohan after a fierce battle in the final leg of this one, coming home on top here in Pocono Raceway. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And there we have it, Cohan going to be on his way back to number 57, and he held off a hard-charging Michael Stroll, and Stroll has been one of the best guys in this second leg. I tell you what, the 38 once again on the podium, this time by to second place finish here in the Evolution Disc Golf 188. How do you feel after this one?
I feel pretty good. That was really, really. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle between myself and Nick. It felt like an old school race where we were snaking down the straightaways for him to break the draft on me, and I'm just trying to see where I could beat him, and just didn't work out. I got to him one time, and I couldn't make it stick. So happy with second, and move on to next week, Charlotte, 200 laps.
And the final race of the season is indeed ahead of us, and it seems like the Clash, it's all been about the playoff spoilers, making some big moves all race long. Cohan and you, both of which not in the Clash, but still battling very hard at the end. So what kept you guys up there? It seems like it had some magic in those cars, keeping yourselves in front of even the best of the best in the Clash, such as Stagner and Thunhorst.
I think at the end of the day, all race car drivers want to win the race, and I'm not in the Clash, but if I was, and if I was in Stagner's position, I would just let me and Nick battle it out, knowing his position. He's probably going to walk away with a pretty nice lead entering the last race. So you play it a little bit differently, but a lot of that gets lost in your mind sometimes when the checker flag's on the line. But congratulations to Nick. He ran a smart race, and that was. That battle was, I think, was like 25 laps the whole last run. That was just a good cat and mouse game. And I look forward to racing him again sometime. Hopefully I come out on the other end.
And when it comes to this season, or this leg of the tour in the Ignite Series in 2023, there's one more chance. 200 laps at Charlotte, a 300-mile to finish this leg of the tour off, and it's been a great one so far. What's it going to take to come out on top for the final run of this season?
All next week's is a long race, and Charlotte is my favorite track in real life and in sim. I feel pretty confident myself because last season on the Virtual Grip Network, I won a 600 miler there in this car. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully the league as a whole can mind their P's and Q's and respect one another like we've been these last few weeks and put on a good show for you guys.
And it's been a great show. Michael Stroll once again up in front of its second place tonight. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank after a great run here in Pocono?
Just thank you for broadcasting. Thanks for the the rest of the admins for helping out. Thanks to everyone who comes out every week to race. The numbers throughout the entire season have been hover around 30 to 40, which is fantastic to sustain that throughout the entire season. Like I said, just looking forward to next week and then get a nice summer break before picking back up on the B season.
And picking up very soon, but there's still one more chance for Michael Stroll as he comes home second here in the Evolution Disc Golf 188. Thank you for your time.
Have a good night.
And there we have it. Stroll going to be on his way. That's the 38 machine. And of the guys in the clash tonight, the class of the field was simply put, DJ Stagner converting a pole position to third on the night and eventually coming out top dog of those in the championship hunt. How do you feel after this one?
Oh man, today was, it went about as good as it could have, honestly. I hated not to win, but given the circumstances, I knew coming into today it was all about top three in the stage in the race, and luckily it was just played out perfect.
And it seems like the 64 machine was dialed in all night long. Now, when it comes to the specifics of it, what was the best thing to keep you in it? Because it seems like many guys fell apart on strategy. Some guys didn't have it in the long run. Some didn't have it on the short. You seem to have it all well-rounded. And I mentioned on the broadcast of those in the championship hunt, well-rounded all night long and were up there no matter what. So what really kept you in it as the driving force for the success?
So, got the pole. That was, it was a good lap. And then we had the caution on like lap 15 or something. And it was kind of a split decision because it felt too early to take tires, but at the same time, it opened the fuel window to finish the stage. So I think myself and 7 other playoff drivers ended up pitting and going for the stage, and I think 2 or 3 stayed out and just played the race. So luckily, after we made our pit stop after the stage, caution came out as I was leaving pit road. Like, as I got back on the track, caution came out. So it was basically free track position. And I was pretty equal with the 57 on the long run, but he definitely had my number there late. I was just doing everything I could to keep up with him, but I was not nearly as good in turn 2 as they were. So it worked out well.
And it seemed to work out well all night long, setting you up for the final race of this season. Charlotte for 200 laps, and it's all about coming home in one piece from here on out. A great race to put you up on the top of the board. What's it going to take to close out this championship?
I mean, honestly, I don't want to be dramatic, but I almost feel like no matter what, it's still going to be a must-win. Definitely got to capitalize in the stages and definitely got to capitalize in the race. So, that qualifying bonus point's going to be a good thing to have. So qualifying's got to be important. But then you also got to lead laps and lead the most laps because every single bonus point means a lot right now. But, I'm really happy that today went as good as it did. I believe we're going to be the points leader heading in. So it's really just going to be about managing the competition and just trying to stay on strategy with the race.
And it looks like strategy next week will come into the equation once again. But doing everything you could tonight, it seems like you're now set up for one great showdown at Charlotte. Coming home in third here in the Evolution Disc Golf 188, DJ Stagner. Before we head to our championship finale, any final thoughts you'd like to add?
I'm just, I have to say Integrity, the Integrity Racing League is like top notch, man. It's, if not the best, it's definitely in the top handful of best ran and best managed leagues I've ever been a part of. It's just everything works so smooth. There's no unnecessary drama, no everything just works like it should. So that's a big shout out to everybody up there, and to you for doing the broadcasts, and to my team, everybody at Swamp Motorsports. I think I had Ty Smith, Sean Billman, Ryan Potter, and Will Reichard with me tonight, just kind of watching and giving inputs. So it was kind of a good team effort.
And a good team effort comes home with a great result for the individual in the 64. DJ Stagner comes home in third, the class of the clash tonight here in the Evolution Disc Golf 188 at the Tricky Triangle. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
And there we have it. Stagner going to be on his way in the 64, setting himself up well for our final race of the season before the summer break. It's Charlotte. It is a 300-mile race next Monday night. Get set, buckle in. It's going to be the most exciting race of the season by a long shot, and we'd love to have you there live on FDN with us, so stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting one all throughout. We'd love to have you there. We'd love to have you for the rest of the week. Once again, our schedule is going to be posted on our Twitter at Fireball Streams, and you saw it earlier in the broadcast. Thank y'all for watching tonight. I've been your host, David Crutch. We thank you greatly for your support live on FDN. If you enjoyed the action, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. This has been a presentation of the Integrity Ignite Series and its 14th race of the season, the Evolution Disc Golf 188. We thank you for your support watching tonight, and we hope you tune in once again. And we thank you once more for your support from our studios to your home. Thank you for your time.